more dramatic. And my name is Quinlan. And continuing on with last week's show about practical and possible ideas. What I talked about last week is how to take something basic like a turn the triggers off. You could have, won't even do the rim shot, just basic thing. Where's the snare drum? Something like that. No! Put them back in. Oh, yeah, take the snares off. Turn this around. Oh, what have we got? All that is on your electric drum kit module somewhere. Okay, you could have your little electronic kit sitting in the bedroom, the rumpus room, whatever room, and then eventually you will have a nice packed up acoustic drum kit ready to go for your gig. That's what a lot of colleagues have. They might play their electronic at home, but they got the acoustic drum kit ready to go, kind of thing, especially in smaller places. I said that last episode. I'm just bringing the continuity to it for this sequel. Okay, so what happens is, what I'm talking about is how to combine them, and that's what Doris, the big drum kit, is all about, in the sense that I've added triggers up here. These are the strings. So far I've just really used the tremolo strings there, but what I am doing is doing a little bit of a quick run through of last episode was modes, running through the modes and all different things that you can do with your interface. There's my interface right there. There's my sounds there. Courtesy GarageBand. You've all got them, and there it is. Use them. Okay. When I start to go over to the piccolos, as you know, I've said 100 times, is that's anyone else's octopad or whatever. That's anyone else's popcorn snare. And the patch I've got at the moment is a C Dorian mode. And as soon as I got these fellas, I had to think about how am I going to use them, you see? So what starts to go on is that it's practical use for something that is possible when you have triggers and all modern technology, you see, and there it is there. So when you're starting to do that, you can also bring in the timbre, which is I'm mentioned. I'm just spending these first few minutes of the part 2 here. I'm just explaining what I was really talking about with part 1, is that when you have multi-sticks like these ones, you've got the mallets on one end and you've got the sticks on the other, you see. And what goes on is that I'm taking basic things like the hemiola from Espanola, where you might have both right, left, right. It's a 2 against 3 polyrhythm, right? Both right, left, right, both right, left, right. Bum, 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 bum. It's the effect of playing 6/8 in a time signature of 3/4, or vice versa. In the most basic of ways, you could go rum-bum-bada, you know, living on a prayer, and the bit where it goes, give it a shot. Okay, crotchet triplets in that. Eye of the Tiger, bump, ba ba bump, ba ba bump, ra la la, and there you go. You see, so they're everywhere. Okay, so it's not new. What it is the possibilities you can do with it. So if I start to do the hemiola. Now, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 hand, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Left hand. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Move it up. A bit of breathing, splashing. You can also use brushes, all sorts of different things, and that's what I'm getting at. The whole point is to start to do different things and go with what you've got. Now, if I'm going to sit there and just do semiquavers, that kind of thing there, what starts to happen is that you can do that in different places, right? You can start here maybe. Around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But it all starts there. There you are. There's that. I'm going to change it up a little bit again. What you've got here is that. What I'm going to do now is go to the Celtic harp. Gives me a different kind of thing. And what I'm going to do now is take you to beloved Ireland. What was I doing there? Okay, I'm doing a little bit of a Celtic jig, an Irish jig there. Da-da, with my foot, and there you have it. So there you have that. An Irish jig's in 6/8, so a lot of you might be thinking it's a bit like a shuffle. It is. 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. There's your practical business. Now you usually see a shuffle like, as I said, in 4/4. But when you go to other cultures, such as Celtic and other things, what you'll often see is it morphs into other time signatures like 6/8, 12/8, whatever it might be. So you might have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. So you could have, and that's to resemble the bowron. Oh, love it. There you go. And then what I was doing here, what sounded like a little bit on the tricky side, was simply a double paradiddle. Right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, left. But phrased into the 6/8. You might see that as triplets. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. Then, using timbre, what am I going to do? I'll do mallet here. It's a Mixolydian mode, which is the 5th mode. Okay, I explained that in part 1. Okay, you've got 7 main modes. Okay, so what you have is the Ionian, which is your major scale in order of steps of the scale: Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian. And what goes on is that each one will give you a mood, that kind of thing. Mixolydian just generally feels happy. Okay, so if I'm going to go there, so this is what I'm going to do. Okay, what I will do, actually I've got to do that, and I'll do that, because I just realised what I'm about to do. I need the ping of destiny on my ride cymbal, you see. So I'm going to do a double paradiddle. Bring in that. me playing a double paradiddle out here somewhere. Oi! Now I'll flip them around. Look at the difference the cymbal makes, you see? Ooh. Can't hear the ping anymore. Work with it. Get it? Got it?
Get it? Got it. Good.
There you have it. All right. So what goes on now is what I'm doing here is really breaking things up into the possibilities of it all, you see. Now I'm doing this with triggers and all sorts of things, and that opens up the harmonic side of the evening, talking about modes and things. There's so much more I could talk about, but I'll do that another time. What happens is that what I'm talking about is taking something now simple like a double paradiddle. It is simple when you do your practice. Right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, left. Build it up. You might use it for something funky. You might have... There it is. There's a little bit of right, left, left. And there's a... Now with that, okay, well that's sometimes known as a bembe pattern, depending on where you are. Known by a few different kinds of names, you know, that kind of thing. But you'd know it if you're just getting a bit funky, right? There it is there. John Bonham. Just depends on the way that you phrase it inside the beat. And then if you just keep doing it, it's something rough. Anyway, there you go. Take the snares off, put the triggers back in, and now we talk about things like the vertical and the horizontal, you see, because what happens is when you are doing the double paradiddle, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, 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 it is up and down, up and down, up and down on your practice pad, you see. And depending on your height from 1 to 10, you have your normal notes, you have your accented notes. If you're playing it in a funky style, there's always the ghost notes, everything else, notes, and there you go. But when you're starting to do things for possibilities, you are starting to talk about horizontal business, you see. On a very sideline note, there is a thing out there called the Alexander technique, which is all about posture, being able to breathe, you know, that kind of thing. It's very famous and very popular with singers, especially opera singers, where they find themselves doing the death aria and they're over the top of a thing and they're, I don't know, it's like, blah, 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 like that. How were they able to sing so beautifully? It's going to where? What it is, how do they do it? Airflow. They could be in the most awkward of positions, but still flow. I talked about flow just the other week. Flow. How you going? Flow. So I could be doing this. And you just get your posture right. Things like that. And that's where you start to get things like angles around the drums. I wrote a book about it 26 years ago when I was sort of middle-aged. Oh dear. Where's this going? So anyway, what happens is that when you've got angles, in the most humblest of ways, if you've got a humble 5-piece drum kit, this bit of big ass Doro, okay? Just like Delilah out in the front room, ready to go to Murph and the Magic Tones if needed, that kind of thing. Hello Murph, if you're there. Anyway, there you go, name check. But you've got what I call a star, one drum. Line, 2. Might do that with just bell, right? Do it like this. Line, triangle. And I'm doing Celtic harp, might go to orchestral harp, right? Now here, I'm going back to what I was doing with the part 1, is that I was talking about double paradiddle. How about if I do right, left, left? Right, left, left, right, left, left. I put the left hand on the star, and I can do a triangle with these 3 drums here. So I could go 3 blind mice. Square. There's your square. So you've got 4 shapes, you see. You've got a star, a line, triangle, square. You start moving around. I did this the other week. Triangle there. Line. 2 triangles. And a square and a triangle. 2, 3, 4. Thank you very much. There you go. Okay. So what happens is you've got a single stroke roll. There's your practical. And then, I can see angles. Look over the top. You know, when you just get your little drumming magazine, you get it home from the newsagent, you go look up and it says, oh, look at his kit there. Oh, I love it. And that's the aerial view, looking down. Do that. Just draw 4 circles, okay, in the shape of a 5-piece drum kit. And just draw a line. And then draw a square. So it'll be So on it goes, you see. I'll take that out a little bit here for a bit. And then you can just do different things. So if you've got your octapad or anything other pad over here, you could do a line, a long line, like. I think you got the picture. It's another way to get things done. There it is. So what happens is I'm taking basic things, right? And I'm making them possible things with technology, yes, triggers, yes, but with a little bit of nous, a little bit of, thinking. It's a well sozzled saying, but think outside the square. Which is a bit sad that it's so hackneyed now, because it actually kind of means something. That is a little bit of lateral thinking. Mr. Edward de Bono, who's very famous for that, who's grown up and their primary school was starting to do things like the 6 hats and stuff like that. You think like that a little bit. What can I do? What happens? I've got this new thing. I just bought it. And it could be something simple. I just bought a cowbell. Where am I going to put it? Do you see? And if you're going to put it here, well, you've got to play like that. If you're going to buy a China symbol like that, my usual thing is, okay, I'll... that kind of stuff. How are you going to do it? Double tap it. Paradiddle. You're out, back in. Paradiddle. Problem solved. I've actually seen guys actually get up and, especially during exams, there's a bit in Advanced Funk Studies with Rick Latham where there was one bit that's sort of like a bit Keith Moonish. It was a bit of a Keith Moon thing that he used to do. But and I've seen a student just get up, take his ride cymbal and put it there. So he was just going, and I've gone, yeah, I'll give it to you. A bit of lateral thinking, but that's not what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to learn how to move. Anyway, I let him have it. I mean, I let him get away with it, I should say. Didn't let him have it. Nothing like that. Anyway, so I better start wrapping this second part of the show up very quickly. My name is Chris Quinlan. This is Melbourne Musos Live. I'm going to put that back in. And what I'm talking about is possibilities, practicality into possibilities. That's better. Tonic. My name's Chris Quinlan, and I hope you enjoyed the 2 shows I've made about this idea of the practical and the possible, the turning beats into possibilities, and now for a nice glass of...
Can you get in? Got it. Good.